Hello everyone, welcome to the second Gym RPG channel. And so this is where I'm going to be putting a lot of my gameplay footage and benchmark runs. And I figured I'm going to be getting some new hardware soon, so like the PowerKitty X18S and also the Odin handheld. And I figured I'm going to be testing those devices out and also recording the footage, so I figured you guys might want to check that footage out as well. So this is where I'm going to be putting all of that stuff. So I thought I would do a bit of a commentary track for the Dark Souls gameplay here. I'm not going to be doing audio commentary for every single one of my gameplay videos because I don't think you guys really need that. I think most of the time you guys just want to see the game in action and playing it. But there are other times where I feel like I want to talk about the hardware a little bit, or I want to talk about the game a little bit, and therefore I think it makes sense to just have a little bit of commentary, because then that gives you my thoughts on the game as well. So in this video I'm going to do a little bit of an unscripted voiceover here for Dark Souls, so a little bit rambly, but I hope that's okay with you guys. And as you can see, the first minute there was of me just like dying 20 times on this Taurus demon run, which is the first true boss. There is a boss earlier than that, but that's before you get to this main area of Dark Souls. So this is like really the first true boss, and this is like Undead Burg is like the first area of the game. Okay, let's talk about Dark Souls on a handheld, because I think the game translates a little bit differently than what I had expected. And so when you think about it, Dark Souls is really a game designed for consoles, like for a larger TV monitor or a larger PC monitor. And so bringing that down into a smaller screen like this handheld here, I actually found that it was pretty difficult to play, because the game is actually quite dark, and also the enemies are a lot smaller now, so it's a lot harder to see them coming, and a lot of the enemy placements are not where you'd expect, or around the corners where you don't see them, so they could just be popping out of nowhere, and when they do pop out, they're actually smaller now, so it's harder to see them versus a TV screen. So on a TV it's a little bit easier to see them pop out from around the corner, but on the handheld it's a little bit harder. Plus it's also darker as well on the handheld, so it makes it harder to play the game in terms of, like, you know, getting hit, and so your reflexes just aren't as sharp playing on the handheld, at least for me anyway. Maybe my reflexes are just getting worse as I age, but I think playing on the handheld, playing on a smaller screen, it just feels like it's harder than the console version. So the second thing I want to talk about is the controls on the Switch, and I felt like it was a little bit harder than on, say, a PS4 controller, because as you can see there, the D-pad is directly underneath the left analog stick, and so it's a little bit harder to reach when you want to change out your items or change your weapons. Particularly in the middle of a boss fight, it's a little bit trickier to put your thumb down there. And on a PS4 controller, it's a little bit easier to swing your thumb around to the D-pad, because they're not directly under or above each other. So I found that on the Switch Lite, it's a little bit more compacted and a little bit harder to use the controls. It's not too bad, it's just that it's better on the PS4. One thing about the Switch version is that the battery actually gets quite hot playing this, so I felt like my hands were starting to warm up roughly from about half an hour onwards, and I was really sweating pretty bad playing Dark Souls on the Switch. So that's something to think about if you get a little bit uncomfortable with hot devices. I would say it's no more hotter than a mobile device, but obviously it's not going to be like holding your PS4 controller. Now, while we're talking about battery, the battery, so this was a 2-hour run here, and I probably had about 23 to 25% of battery life remaining. So I would say you're getting about 2.5 to 3 hours of playtime on a single battery charge. Now, in terms of my experience with Dark Souls, I've played this before on the PC when it first came out. I don't remember exactly when that was. Maybe it was like 2008 sometime, but it was a long time ago. And I didn't actually finish it then. So I got up to Anno Londo, and the first time I played this, I got all the way up to Sen's Fortress, and then I got stuck there a little bit. Then after maybe a couple of years, I went back to it and got to Anno Londo. And then again, I had to stop there because it got a little bit difficult. And so I've beaten other games that are this hard before. Like I played Demon Souls and also Neo. So I've beaten both of those games. But somehow Dark Souls was always just one of those games where I was like, nope, I've had enough. And so I put it away. And I figured, if I bought the Switch version, I would actually play it a bit more because it was more readily available, or it was more pick up and play friendly because it was on a portable device. And so that's what I was hoping with getting this port of the game. However, I think to finish the game really, because it's easier to see on a larger screen, I think I will probably go back. If I were to finish Dark Souls, I would probably try and finish it on the PC version because I think it would be a little bit easier there than on the handheld here. I think the handheld version is really for people who are veterans of the game rather than novices like me. If you're a veteran and you know like all of the enemy placements and you know all of the enemy actions, you know how to get your way around for everything, it does make this game a little bit easier. Now, as I said before, this run or this video was roughly about 2 hours, so it wasn't just me going up to Taurus Demon every single time and then just getting beaten by him. I did try to level up a little bit during those runs, but I think I did the leveling wrong because normally I don't use a guide anyway, so I was just trying to figure things out on my own, and I put too many points into strength. So I think I put 9 points or so into the strength, and that meant that as I was leveling up other things, that also took me a long time as well. So I don't know if you'll be seeing this in the game, but I did level up to level 20, and I don't think you're going to have to level up to level 20 to beat the Taurus Demon. I think you could probably level up 6 levels or so. So maybe a couple of points for vitality, a couple of points for endurance, and a couple of points for strength, and then I think you'll be able to beat the Taurus Demon. However, when I actually did it, I ended up putting 10 points into strength to begin with, because I thought I would just be able to bully my way past him. But when you actually get up to the Taurus Demon and you don't have any points in vitality or endurance, he can hit you and stun you, and then he'll hit you again, and then he'll knock you off the ledge. So I went into the Taurus Demon fight with basically the wrong tactics and strategy, and also my character was just not very good either. So I think, as you can see here, I was up to level 19, and my strength was already 19. So really you just need a couple of points in strength, a couple of points in vitality, and a couple of points in endurance, and that way if you block some of his hits, or if you block one of his hits, you don't get knocked completely and you don't get stunned completely. You can still react to it after, because you'll have some stamina left in your stamina bar. One of the reasons why you don't have to put too many points in strength is because you can grab items and things, and also two-hand wield your weapon to get a little bit more damage. So that way you don't have to put too much points in strength. So as you can see here, I've two-hand wielded my great axe. I think it's a great axe. And using a great axe, you can get a little bit more damage, and also two-handed usage of that weapon, you can almost just about one hit everyone. Whereas if, say, like you use a short sword or a long sword and you're using that with a shield, you almost have to swing 3 times every time you need to hit something. So here you can see that I took one swing, I was able to hit 3 guys with that. So it's just easier to, like, especially on the earlier level, you can use two-handed weapons. You can two-hand your weapons, and it's just a lot easier to kill these enemies. And even this guy here with the shield, if he blocks that, then you're able to follow up with a second hit, which will kill him. So as you can see, it doesn't really take that long to go from the start of the shrine or the campfire to the end of the level here with the Taurus demon fight. I think it might just be a couple of minutes, but the thing is, like, if you have to do it a lot of times, like if you have to do it 20 times, that's 20 times 2 minutes, which is like 40 minutes. So it does end up feeling like it's a little bit annoying to go through it so many times. So in terms of the Taurus demon fight, I actually had the tactics and strategy wrong for quite a while there, which is why I kept dying. I shouldn't have been fighting him on the top of this watchtower the whole time. I should have been fighting him down along this wall here, because the first time I actually fought him, I got real close to defeating him, and I did that at the top of the watchtower, and I thought that must have been the right thing to do, and then I kept on trying to do that, and it became clear that that was not the right place to do it. Because if you're on the top of that watchtower, it's easy for him to knock you off instantly, whereas if you're fighting him along this wall here, even though if he hits you, then you don't get knocked off as easily. So that's what I would recommend if you're going to fight him down here. And also, obviously, the number one thing you're going to be really trying to do is to roll when he uses his weapon or tries to hit you. That way, there are some invincibility frames when you're rolling. So then if you can roll while he makes a hit, then you should be able to get 3 or 4 hits in yourself as he's recovering. So here, I'm hitting him like 3 times or 2 times. And then I'm able to knock some damage off. And if you two-hand your weapon like this without using a shield, you can get more damage off him and you'll be able to kill him faster. And that's probably the best way to do it, to try and kill him as quickly as you can. If you're trying to like use a shield, and that just takes you a lot longer, and it's possible for him to like just knock you off the ledge. But yeah, normally you should be able to get 3 or 4 hits in without him being able to counter. And see here, you can actually hit him and you can stun him as well. So that also makes it a little bit easier as well, so watch for that. And that's pretty much it. That's the end of the video. So I hope you enjoyed taking a look at Dark Souls on the Switch. And if you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and also subscribe to my main channel as well for more videos like this. And I'll see you guys in the next one.